Hi, good day everyone. This video is about fundamental principle of counting. In this lesson, you will be able to illustrate and apply the fundamental principle of counting. So for our first activity, for example, we are asked to determine the possible outcome or outcomes if we toss a coin, we roll a six-sided die, we toss three set of coins, and we roll two six-sided dice. Okay, so sagutan natin yung first problem dito, which is tossing a coin. So if we toss a coin, again, as you observe, pag nag-toss tayo ng isang perasong coin, dalawa lang yung possible thing or outcomes na pwede natin makuha. That is head or a tail. Okay? So, pwedeng head lang or pwedeng tail lang pero never magiging sabay nalalabas yung head and tail. Okay? That is our problem number 1. Next, as you observe naman, if we roll a six-sided die, we have 6 possible outcomes. Okay? Possible tayo magkaroon ng isang dot, 2 set of dots, 3 set of dots, up to 6 set of dots. Okay? So, yun yung pinaka possible outcomes na meron tayo. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then for our third problem, if we toss 3 set of coins, automatically, medyo magiging iba na yung procedure natin to answer this given problem. So, kanina, isang perasong coin yung ginamit natin. Automatically, we have head and a tail. This time, since 3 perasong coins yung ating itotoss, so magkakaroon tayo ng 3 set of events. Okay? So, para makuha natin yung sagot sa problem na to, we need to use a tree diagram. Okay, so paano tayo mag-create ng tree diagram? So, una nating isipin is, ano yung mga events na meron sa atin at ano yung mga outcomes per event. Okay? So, since meron tayong 3 set of coins, gagawin natin yung test, okay? Parang magte-test tayo, pero 3 times din natin siyang gagamitin or gagawin. So, for example, pag isang coin ang tinos mo, magkakaroon tayo ng outcome na head or a tail. We have H and T. So, gamitin natin yung H for head and T for the tail. Now, kapag dalawang coins naman ang gamit natin, so from H and T, so magdudugtong tayo, kaya nga siya tree diagram, so gagawa tayo ng branches or sanga niya. So, individually, lalagyan natin ng outcomes ng ating second coin, yung previous outcomes na meron tayo. So, individually, create tayo ng mga branches and then, lalagyan natin yung another set of H and T. Okay? Individually yan. Now, since 3 set of coins yung pinag-uusapan natin, so, dudugtungan ulit natin siya. Okay? So, for our third coin, ilalagay natin yung possible outcomes naman sa ating third event. So, we have another H and T. Now, paano natin ngayon ililista yung ating mga possible outcomes? So, gawin natin from our first letter or outcome, we have letter H. I-continue lang natin yung progression dito. So, from H, idudugtong natin yung second letter or outcome, which is another set of H. Okay? And then, idudugtong lang natin siya sa pinaka-last outcome na meron tayo or yung pinaka-third coin na meron tayo. So, we have another set of H. So, meron tayong 3 set of H or heads. Okay? And the next one, continue lang natin. We have H, another H, and we have this tail. So, meron tayong H, H, and T. Okay? And then do the same thing sa mga sumunod na mga possible outcomes. So, we have H, T, and another H. Okay? And then we have H, T, and our last outcome for this first letter, meron tayong T. So, we have H, T, and T. And then, lista lang natin yung mga outcomes na nakuha natin. Okay? And then, do the same thing sa remaining set of outcomes para natin. We have T, we have H, and yung karugtong niya, which is H. So, we have T, H, H. And then, yung sumunod sa kanya is T, H, and yung second letter or outcome, which is T. So, we have T, H, T. And then, sa next naman natin is T, letter T, and another H. And then, for our last outcome, we have T, T, and T. So, 3 set of tails. So, ililista natin lahat ng ating possible outcomes. Now, if you want to count, since principle of counting yung ating topic, so, let's count all of the possible outcomes na meron dito sa tossing 3 set of coins. Automatically, here's our sample space. If that is our sample space, the number of possible outcomes for this particular problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 possible outcomes. Okay? Next. So for our item number 4, if we roll two six-sided dice. So by applying the same concept, if you want to use tree diagram to answer this given problem, individually, since our first event is a die, and next one is same lang, so automatically per event we have 6 possible outcomes. So individually, idudugtong natin yung outcomes na yon. So meron tayong first 6 set of outcomes, and then idudugtong mo yung another 6 set of outcomes individually sa unang outcomes natin. So kung meron tayong 1 as our first outcome, idudugtong mo ngayon yung 6 na outcomes sa ating second die. Okay? And then do the same thing sa mga sumunod na possible outcomes natin. Okay, so meron tayong, for example, nag-roll tayo ng die, pwedeng maging 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Pwede rin naman maging 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. And then the rest will follow. Now, if you want to count the number of possible outcomes here, so automatically we have 6 times 6. Okay, so magkakaroon tayo ng 36 overall possible outcomes. Now, ito yung mga methods na ginamit natin. Here's our methods of counting. Meron tayong 3. So we have listing, sometimes we use table, and yung pinaka-useful is with the use of a tree diagram, which is yung ginamit natin sa mga previous example natin. Now, we have this term, the sample space. So what do you mean by sample space? So according to its definition, sample space is the list of all possible outcomes. Automatically, lahat ng outcomes na meron sa isang event, yun yung tinatawag na sample space. Okay? So for example, let's say meron tayong days in a week. So let's assume na pinapapili ka ng random day in a week. Kapag pinili mo yung Monday, that is a single outcome. So outcome lang siya. Pag pinili mo naman dalawa, for example, Monday and Tuesday, so outcomes naman yun. Okay, with S, plural sila. Kapag Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, outcomes pa rin. Pero, kapag pinili mo or in-indicate mo yung Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or complete set of possible outcomes, ang tawag na doon ay sample space. Okay? Next. So, ito yung example natin dito. So, for example, a family has 3 children. Okay? Our task is to draw a tree diagram to show the possible genders of the children. This time, i-provide natin yung sample space sa particular problem na to. So, again, identify natin yung ating mga events. Since meron tayong 3 anak daw or 3 children for this family, so, i-create tayo ng tree diagram. Meron tayong parang 3 layers na gagawin. Okay? And then, per event, since gender ang pinag-uusapan, let's use male or female. So, per event, we have 2 possible outcomes lang. Again, para mag-construct ng tree diagram, your first task is to write your first possible outcome sa ating first event. So, since isang anak, so dalawa lang yung possible na maging gender niya, yung panganay, it's either a male or female lang. And then, sa pangalawang anak, let's continue lang yung ating progression. Individually, idudugtong natin yung outcome ng ating second event, which is male and another female. Okay, so we have this MF individually sa ating previous outcomes. And then, para sa pinakabunso or pangatlong anak, dudugtong na natin, okay, yung another set of male and female. Now, paano natin lilista ngayon? Yung pinaka-sample space natin. Okay, so from letter M, our first outcome, possible na ang panganay ay male, and then the second one is another male, and then yung bunso is male din. So, we have 3 set of males. So, pwede rin naman na 2 set of male and a female or M, M, and F. Right? And then, pwede rin magkaroon ng male, tapos female yung pangalawa, and then yung third or yung pinakabunso ay male. So, we have M, F, and M. Pwede rin male, female, and another female. So, we have M, F, and F. And then, do the same thing sa remaining outcomes natin sa baba. So, we have female, male, and male. So, we have F, M, M. We have female, male, and female. We have F, M, F. We have F, or female, female, and a male. We have F, F, M. And for our last outcome, which is 3 set of females. So, as you observe, kung gusto mong kunin yung sample space mo to avoid confusion, possible kasi na malito tayo, pwedeng may mawala since nararamble na o shuffle lang naman yung mga outcomes dito or yung mga letters. Para ma-avoid natin yung confusion or errors, kindly use tree diagram kasi ibibigay niya yung complete set at yung naka-arrange na possible outcomes. So, if you want to count the number of outcomes here, automatically lahat to yung ating sample space. Pag binilang natin, we have 8 possible outcomes or 8 possible combinations of gender sa ating pamilya or sa family na merong 3 set of children. Now, another example, let's say the Fear Ice Cream Parlor offers the following choices on the right, okay, for their snacks. Suppose you choose a sandwich and a drink. How many possible outcomes are there? So the question is, ilan kaya yung posibleng maging kombinasyon ng sandwich tsaka ng drinks na pwedeng mabili ng isang customer sa ice cream parlor na to? Okay, so let's use this formula again. Let's use this tree diagram para makita natin yung list of all possible outcomes. Again, for our first event or yung sandwich, we have 3 set of flavors lang. Or yung pwedeng maging pagpilian, we have hamburger, chicken, and egg. And then for our second event, which is yung drinks, we have 2. That is either a juice or a coffee. So pwedeng prefer ng isang customer na bumili ng hamburger and then juice. Possible din na mas prefer nila yung chicken and coffee or egg and juice. Okay? So to list down all of the possible outcomes and then yung sample space then, combine na natin. So same procedure lang naman. So we have this set of possible outcomes. Okay? Now mapapansin natin, if you want to count the number of possible outcomes, actually meron tayong formula. Okay? Para mas mapadali. Kasi same lang naman yung concept na nakukuha natin palagi. So the tree diagram has 3 branches and 2 twigs. Okay? So there are 3 times 2 possible combinations. Therefore, we have 6 possible outcomes. So the formula pala is to simply multiply the outcomes of our event number 1 and our second event, which is 3 times 2. So the answer is 6. So this is the fundamental principle of counting or fundamental counting principle. So if one thing can occur in n sub 1 ways, and the second thing can occur in n sub 2 ways, and the third thing can occur in n sub 3 ways, and so on, then the sequence of this can occur in n is equals to n sub 1 times n sub 2 times n sub 3. Just multiply the possible number of events per or possible outcomes per event. Okay? So yun yung pinaka-possible na formula na pwede natin magamit sa iba't ibang mga problems dito. So we have 2 kinds of events kasi. So number 1 is if the events or 2 events A and B are independent events when the occurrence of event A does not affect the occurrence of event B. Kapag yung test natin or event natin ay hindi naman nakaka-apekto sa outcome nung pangalawa or nung nauna, so that is an example of independent events. Yung pangalawa naman is if 2 events A and B are dependent, okay? When the occurrence of event A affects the occurrence of event B. Kapag naapektuhan naman nila yung mga sitwasyon, for example, naapektuhan yung number of possible outcomes nung event na nauna sa pangalawa, so ang tawag naman dun is dependent events. So yung mga example natin na dito. Sagutan natin yung possible, yung mga questions natin. We have 4 set of questions here. So use the fundamental principle of counting to count the possible outcomes. Now I encourage you to please pause this video and try to answer each of the problem. Okay? This time let's answer. So again, for item number 1, 5 dice are rolled. So ito yung ating pinaka-formula or pinaka-solution. If 5 dice are rolled, so automatically we have 5 events. And each event ay merong 6 possible outcomes. Kasi per dice, meron tayong 6 outcomes na nalabas. Diba? So, we have this first event. We have 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 or simply 6 raised to 5. So, this is an example of independent event. Kasi hindi sila apektado. Okay? So, by simplifying this one with the super calculator, so the answer is 7,776. Now, question number 2 or problem number 2. So for our problem number 2, let's say I'm choosing a cell phone that comes in red, blue, or green color and that is 3G or 4G. So, mapapansin nyo sa problem natin, pagpipili doon tayo ng possible combination of color ng cellphone and then yung model niya. So, same procedure lang din naman siya. So, sa color, we have 3 possible outcomes. Color as our first event. And then, our second event here is the model of the phone. It's either 3G or 4G. So, para ma-solve natin to, just multiply. Okay? Event 1 and event 2, they're possible outcomes. So, we have 3 times 2. Therefore, we have 6 possible outcomes or combinations ng color at ng model ng phone. Okay? For question number 3 or problem number 3. So, again, clock comes in 2 styles. Okay? So, pwede siya maging wall or desk. And then they come in 5 colors: white, black, red, blue, or orange. Again, for the style of the clock, we have 2. So, pwede siyang wall or desk. So, we have 2 as its outcome. And for the color, we have 5. So, we have 5 as our possible outcome. So, again, just multiply all of the outcomes ng ating events. And then, the answer is 2 times 5 or simply 10 possible combinations or outcomes. If we choose a clock, yung style niya, at kasama na rin yung kulay niya. So, meron tayong 10 posibleng combination. Next is for item number 4. So, all of our previous examples sa question number 1, 2, and 3, so since hindi sila affected ng occurrence, yung event A ay hindi affected ng occurrence ng event B, so that is an example of independent event. So, this time, medyo magiging iba na. So, for question number 4, how many passwords are possible with 2 letters and 2 numbers with repetition? Okay? So, dito naman, for example, we are asked to create a password. Ilan daw yung posibleng maging kombinasyon ng password na yun? Okay, gagamit tayo ng 2 letter at 2 number. So, since repetitions are allowed, so this is an example of independent. Why? Since repetitions are allowed for this particular problem, I have here a graph. So, for the letters, we have this set of choices, A to Z. Okay? And then yung second letter, A to Z then. For the numbers, we have this set of digits, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 9. So, 2 numbers hindi gagamitin kaya dalawa sila. So, for the number of choices, since repetitions are allowed, yung first letter na pwede natin magamit for our password, so, since available yung A to Z, automatically we have 26 set of letters na pwedeng pagpilian. Okay? And then, pwede yung repetition, kaya for our second letter, 26 set of letters pa rin yung pwede natin pagpilian. Kasi yun yung number of alphabet or letters natin sa ating alphabet. Now, for our number, since we have 10 set of digits and repetitions are allowed, so we have 10 as our third event. So, 10 yung possible outcomes or choices na meron tayo. And then for our second digit or number, we have this 10 set of possible outcomes then. Okay? Ganito kapag repetitions are allowed. Okay? So, again, since we have this possible outcomes per event, so just multiply all of the values here, and then makukuha natin yung total number of outcomes. So, 26 times 26 times 10 and times 10. So, the answer is 67,600 possible outcomes or combinations of 2 letters and 2 numbers. So, that is with repetition. So, with repetition siya, example siya ng independent event. So, ito naman yung pangalawang case. How about number of passwords possible with 2 letters and 2 numbers without repetition? So, same formula din ginamit ko sa same graph, same set of choices of letters and digits. Since without repetition naman, so for our first number of choice sa letters, so ang pwede natin mapili rito from A to Z ay 26 set of letters. Okay? Sa pangalawang letter natin, since bawal maulit, kunyari, for your first letter napili mo na yung A. For letter number 2, hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin yung A. Ibig sabihin, B, C, D, up to Z na lang yung pwede mong piliin. So, mangyayari dito is 25 possible outcomes na lang sa ating second letter. So, as you observe, affected yung occurrence natin ngayon, affected yung outcomes nila. So, this is an example of dependent event. Okay, so nagbabago yung possible outcomes natin kasi apektado sila ng mga nauna, okay, na outcomes natin. So, for our second letter, 25 na lang kasi bawal yung maulit yung letter. So for our numbers, since unang number natin ay 0 to 9 pa rin, so we have 10 set of digits na ngayon. Since without repetition, sa pangalawang number, bawal na maulit yung napili mo sa una. Kaya meron ka na lang 9 set of choices or possible outcomes. Okay, so para makuha natin yung total number, okay, so just multiply all of this set of values. So we have 26 times 25 times 10 times 9. So with use of our calculator, masimplify natin siya. So the answer is 58,500 possible outcomes. So that is the independent and yung pagkakaiba niya sa dependent event. Okay? So thank you so much and God bless.